Let's solve these examples that I have written here. The first one is 6x squared is equal to 11x plus 10. You need to rearrange this by first is to make sure that you have ax squared plus bx is equal to c. That is what we need first. Since we have 10 already on the right hand side, then we need only to move 11x by subtracting both sides of the equation by 11x. And we have 6x squared is minus 11x is equal to 10. This is 0. After that, we need to add the half of the second term. We need to divide all the terms by 6. Then we have x squared minus 11 half x is equal to, I will make room for, is equal to 10 sixth. And then we need to add the square of the half. Why I wrote 2 there? Sorry for that. This should be 6. Then I need to get the half of the second term. That is 11, negative 11, 2. The half of it is 6. Why that 2 always comes in my mind? 6 and then 2. Okay? And then we do the same here. We have negative 11 sixths multiplied by half squared. We need to square it. And then we can factor that now. It's a perfect square. X minus 11 12 parenthesis squared is equal to 10 6 plus 11 12 squared. Then we have 10 6 plus 121 144. And we have x minus 11 12 squared. What should I do now is to multiply, find my least common denominator. That is 144 divided by 6. We can find that. We have 2, 24, 24. Yeah, 24. So multiplied by 24, multiplied by 24. Then we have 124 plus 121. 144. I see some problem here. That's 10 times 24 is not 124. I don't know where that comes from. 240 it should be. Then we have 361 100 divided by 144. And we have here x minus 11 12. Then we take the square root of both sides of the equation. Then we have x minus 11 12 is equal to 361. Square root of that. Let's see, square root of 361 is 19. That's 19 12. Positive and negative 19 12. So our x sub 1, I will write in another pen. Our x sub 1 now is equal to negative, if we add both sides of the equation by 11, 12 there, then we have our x sub 1 is 11 plus 19, 12. And our x sub 2 is equal to 11 minus 19 divided by 12. So we have 30 divided by 12, that is by 3, then we have 10, 4, or we have 5, 2, 2.5. So our x sub 1 is equal to 2.5. 2.5. And our x sub 2, how will be? 11, let's say 8, negative 8, 12. By 4, we have negative 2/3. I think I wrote this one very not that good. 2.5. So it was more complicated than I thought there. Okay, then let's take this one. It's the same. We can either do it this way, or we can divide all of the terms by 5 directly. Then we have x squared subtracted by 3x added by 2/5. If we subtract both sides of the equation by 2/5, then we have 0 minus 2/5. This is 0 now. So we have x squared minus 3x. We take the half of that. So we have negative 3/2 squared is equal to negative 2/5 plus negative 3.5 squared. That means the left hand side of the equation now is x minus 3.5 squared is equal to negative 2/5 plus 9/4. Okay, and then we take the least common denominator, which is 20. Then we have negative 8 plus 20 divided by plus 20. Where did it come from? 45, I should say. 45. And then 20. Then we have x minus 3/2 squared. 45 minus 8 is 37. 20. And on the left hand side is x minus 3/2 squared. And then we take the square root of both sides of the equation. And we have x minus 3/2 is equal to positive negative square root of 37/20 divided by 20. And then if we add both sides of the equation by 3.5, then we have x is equal to 3.5 plus minus square root of 37 divided by 20. That's the x sub. You can find the x sub 1 and x sub 2 here. Okay, the third example, 3x plus 1 parenthesis square is equal to 2. Many might be tempted to take the square root of both sides directly, but you cannot do that. So I will not do that. The first thing you should do is to expand this square. Then we have 9x squared plus 6x plus 1 is equal to 2. If we subtract both sides of the equation by 1, then we have 9x squared plus 6x is equal to 1. Completing the square, we need to divide all by 9. Then we have x squared plus 6 divided by 9x is equal to 1 divided by 9. Adding both sides of the equation by the half and square, have 6, 9 square, or 6, 9 can be 2/3. I will write 2/3 here instead. This one can be written 2/3. Okay. So that 2/3 there. Okay. Add the 2/3 also here, and then parenthesis squared. So that this is a perfect square now. X plus 2/3 squared is equal to 1 divided by 9 plus 4 divided by 9. Then if we take the square root of both sides of the equation, we can do that now because we have common denominator already. So we have x plus 2/3 is equal to positive negative square root of 5 divided by 3. So that we have, if we subtract both sides of the equation by 2/3, then we have, this is 0, x is equal to 2/3 plus minus square root of 5 divided by 3. Our x sub 1 now is 2 plus square root of 5 divided by 3, and our x sub 2 will be 2 minus square root of 5 divided by 3. Okay, I think this is the last example that I'm going to discuss. What you're supposed to do here is that you need to multiply all the terms by the common denominator. This is our least common denominator. So we multiply that, 2 minus x, all terms. So we have x minus 1 multiplied by 2 minus x divided by 2 minus x is equal to 2x plus 1 multiplied by 2 minus x. This one is 0. I will group that so that 1 I should say. This one is 1. Then we have only x minus 1 on the left hand side. If we multiply that, we have 4x minus 2x squared plus 2 minus x. If we transfer all the terms in the left hand side, then we add this by 2x squared minus 3x, because this one and this one will be 3x except 2. We don't need to do that. And we can add 1 there, plus 1. So that this is 0. Sorry, we need to do that also on the left hand side. Minus 3x plus 2x squared. This is 0. This is 0. Then we have 2x squared minus 2x is equal to 1. Nay, 3. It's not 1. 3. If we divide all terms by 2, Then we have x squared minus x is equal to 3.5. Completing the square, adding by negative 1/2 squared, adding by negative 1/2 squared. Then we have x minus 1/2. Parenthesis squared is equal to 3.5 plus 1/4. So if we expand this by 2, multiply it by 2, then we have x minus 1/2 is equal to 6 plus 1 is 7 divided by 4. This is still a square. Taking the square to both sides of the equation, I will write maybe here with another pen. We have x minus 1/2 is equal to positive negative square root of 7 divided by 4. Adding both sides of the equation by 1/2, then we have x is equal to 1/2 plus minus square root of 7 divided by 2. That was wrong also. Divided by 2. Square root of 4 is 2. And our x sub 1 will be 1 plus square root of 7 divided by 2. And x sub 2 will be 1 minus square root of 7 divided by 2. I hope you can see that. On my next video, I hope that you learned something in my video. In my next video, I will be discussing solving quadratic equations. By the quadratic formula. First part of the video is to derive the quadratic formula, and then I will give some examples. See you around.